agents can now reason, interact with systems, call tools, and even make decisions on our behalf. So every organization's question or nightmare is about securing agentic AI. Today, we are going to be talking about how do we secure them, what new risks do they introduce, and how do existing security platforms evolve to support this new reality of having agents as identities. It's no news anymore. AI agents are becoming digital actors in our enterprise. Across several reports from PwC, Gartner, and IDC. Today, roughly 35% of organizations are already adopting AI agents in some form, maybe using it for customer service, using it in cybersecurity. We have phishing triage agents. We have agents for managing policies like the conditional access optimization agents, and lots more. We have the researcher agent in which you can use in doing your researches and all. But 35% of the organizations already adopting AI agents. But what's interesting is not the number today, is the trajectory. We expect that in the near future, nearly 79% of organizations will adopt AI agents, which means AI agents are becoming part of how our enterprise operates. They are becoming our colleagues, our partners in the organization. But the scale of what's coming is even more interesting. Analysts, now according to the IDC report, we expect more than 1.3 billion agents globally to be operating globally by 2028. If that was a population, that should be among maybe the top 3 countries in the world. By 2028 as well, roughly 1/3 of enterprise software is expected to include AI agents. So, which means I've said agents are becoming our digital colleagues, becoming active participants in our enterprise. This brings me to taking us back to the evolution or the way identities have evolved across our stack, across our ecosystem. We used to just think about how to protect human identities. Users in your organization, employees, contractors, and partners. That was the challenge. The challenge was, how do we ensure human identities are secured, ensure that these identities are not compromised, and attackers are not leveraging vulnerabilities within these identities to access our system. And then we have device identity, which cuts across our laptops, servers, and the IoT devices. We also have service and bot identities across identities for robotic process automation, service principals, and now the transition has come into agentic AI. And we are all talking about AI agent identity. Basically, we now have a new insider, which are AI agents. Across your co-pilot agents, your agents developed your custom AI agents, and lots more. The question now, the security controls we built for traditional identities were not defined or designed for autonomous systems that can reason, interact with tools, and act independently. So this new identity has introduced a new attack surface. So this brings me to the AI agent attack surface. It typically starts with a user interacting with an AI system or even an agent interacting with another agent. And one of the most well-known risks here is prompt injection, where attackers manipulate prompts to influence the behavior of the AI agent. Once the prompt reaches the AI agent, we enter a new category of risk because these systems can now reason and make decisions and communicate with users, user identity, communicate agent-to-agent communications as well, which also means that they can also be manipulated or misaligned. So their particular intent could be manipulated by attackers. This is where we start seeing risks like intent manipulation or autonomous misbehaviors, where agents now do activities where the activities they are not programmed to do because of the way attackers have maybe leveraged the use of prompts, injecting prompts to make sure these agents expose sensitive information. But AI agents rarely stop at reasoning. They interact with tools. They have the orchestration agent, they interact with APIs. And this is where we start seeing traditional security risk appear. Because basically, AI agents brings a new risk, but it doesn't take away the old risk we are still fighting or combating against attackers, like the use of privilege escalation, tool misuse. Once agents begins to start interacting with enterprise data, this becomes a great risk across data exfiltration. Sensitive information becomes retrieved, leaked, or even poisoned. And many agents also interact with external application, external services, and plugins. So this introduces supply chain compromise. Agents are not only interacting within your ecosystem, they can also interact outside with external applications. APIs also interact with tools in your organization. So this is where we are seeing a risk of data exfiltration, seeing the risk of tool misuse, seeing the risk of third-party plugin risk as well. I'm going to talk about how software has evolved from being a deterministic system to becoming autonomous actors, because we now have AI agents who can reason, goal-oriented AI agents, communicate with tools, and even make decisions on their own. To understand why AI agents introduce new security challenges, we first need to understand how software itself is changing. For decades, most software were deterministic, like rule-based, they're predefined, you tell them what to do and it does it. So it's predefined, rule-based execution. The output was predictable. They followed predefined workflows. If you impute A, you already expect that the system should output something. So it was predictive. Security teams understood the model very well because behavior was predictable. Now, agentic AI has changed that model. These systems are no longer just executing instructions, they are reasoning towards goals. They can select tools autonomously, execute multi-step tasks. So executing execute tasks, maybe you can execute multi-step tasks by the agent orchestrates, there's communication between one agent and the other agent, and they are doing these tasks in stages, multi-step tasks, dynamic decision making, and also learning from feedbacks as well, which means their behavior is no longer fully predictable. this brings us to the major implication this has for security. Now we are seeing the massive proliferation of AI agents. So sprawl, agent sprawl, we have agents across our organizations, and these agents interact directly with data. Like I said earlier, leading to exposure of sensitive information and data exfiltration as well. Tasks can become misaligned, meaning agent pursues a goal in a way we did not anticipate. And finally, these agents themselves can be manipulated by attackers through prompt injection or other adversarial techniques. Traditional softwares execute instructions. Agentic systems pursue objectives, and security models designed for instructions do not automatically work for objectives like this. So our security models were designed for deterministic software, how to protect rule-based software, rule-based execution, software that we could easily predict their output once we put in their inputs. This takes me to why are we now having software evolving from deterministic systems to becoming autonomous actors. Of course, AI has brought a lot of innovation and also broken the barriers in which these agents are being developed. Like I rightly said here, creation of AI agents is no longer limited to developers. So from low code to no code to pro code. With low code, you can use the Copilot Studio to develop an agent with just a prompt, telling typing your prompt in natural language and saying what kind of agent you want created. So basically, you do not need engineering expertise to build that. So today, business users can build AI agents using Copilot Studios, which means you don't need that deep technical expertise. You don't need to know how to code as it used to be before. At the same time, developers can now build more advanced agents using pro-code environments like Microsoft Foundry, where developers can build agents that integrate models, tools, and the enterprise AI system. So we are entering a world where anyone can build an AI agent, which means the number of agents inside our organization is going to grow dramatically. So how do we know where these agents are? How do we defend against attackers leveraging these agents? And each of those agents, basically, they are going to behave like identities. So we've talked about having human identities across your partners, employees in your organization. But now we now have agents in our ecosystem. And with the way this barrier has been broken, where agent development has been democratized, if we are not careful about managing these AI agents, it will lead to agent sprawl in our organization. So the barrier to building AI agent has collapsed, which means the attack surface is going to scale just as fast as innovation is as well. I said earlier there's an estimate of about 1.28 billion agents by 2028. So the question for security teams is, how do we secure an environment where agents are being created everywhere? How do we have a centralized view of these agents? How do we know if these agents are deviating from their actual behavior? So by developers, by business users, and increasingly by autonomous systems themselves, the question is, how do we ensure there's a handshake of security between developers and security personnel? So basically, how to ensure that agents right from when they are created till even when they are in our production environment, ensure that there's continuous observability and security. So the question now is, how do we defend agentic systems? I want us to pause for a moment. We have seen AI agents becoming digital identities, interacting with tools, enterprise APIs, your data, interacting with external systems, collaborating with employees, users in your organization. And today is easier because anyone can build agents. So which raises this question: how do we defend agentic system? This slide here, defending agentic AI at runtime. Basically, protecting agentic AI is not only at runtime, it starts from when the agents are built. To secure agent-driven environments, we need three fundamental capabilities, which is the visibility, detection, and response. These three capabilities form the foundation of modern security operations. First of all, visibility. We need to be able to view agents, have observability of agents within our ecosystem. Apart from having the view of those agents, have observability of which tools these agents are leveraging. How do they communicate? Metadata of the agents, when these agents were created, who is the sponsor of the agent, and all. The next one is detection. In agentic system, basically visibility means understanding how the agents behave, which tools to invoke, which APIs they interact with, how they access enterprise data. But visibility alone is not enough. Security teams must also detect when the behavior deviates from what is expected, detecting it at real time. Because AI agents can make decisions autonomously, which means attackers can definitely attempt to manipulate their behavior. So detection capability basically helps to identify any anomalous activity of the agent. It could be potential compromise, and security alerts that require investigation. After detection, what happens is about responding. So when a security issue occurs, response becomes very critical. So the security team must investigate these incidents, correlate signals across the environment, across your cloud app, your endpoint, your identity, and quickly contain these threats. This is where platforms like Microsoft Defender provide this significant value, because they bring these signals, they correlate these signals together in a unified security experience. AI agents introduce new type of risk, but the security principles remains the same: visibility, detection, and response. So it starts with seeing. How do you protect what you cannot see? So first, have visibility of these agents and who or what these agents communicate with. So it's about making sure that security remains intentional. Now I'm going to show, let's look at how this works in practice, right from the AI agent visibility in Microsoft Defender. Here you can see this is the agent visibility currently in Microsoft Defender, where you can see a view of all agents developed within Copilot Studio and Microsoft Foundry. So it gives you that visibility through a unified inventory. You can see what agents are in your ecosystem. You can also see across platforms of Copilot Studio, Microsoft Foundry. This is very important because we are all talking about agent sprawl and shadow agents within our organization. So basically, once agents are developed or being built in Copilot Studio or in AI Foundry, these agents are surfaced in Microsoft Defender. So security teams can easily get a view of the agents, the platform in which they are being developed as well. This is all about bringing a central oversight of AI agents. So with Defender, these agents becomes visible. Here we can see the list of discovered agents. This is the agent inventory. We can also identify which platform these agents were created on. Was it created on Copilot Studio or on Microsoft Foundry? So there is that centralized security view of AI agents in your ecosystem. Security teams cannot secure AI agents if they don't know where they exist. So this is the essence of the AI agent visibility in Microsoft Defender. Since the first step to securing AI agents is simply knowing where they are. Now that we've understood or we've seen where these agents are, what platform are they created on, the metadata and all, the next is about understanding the risk exposure of these AI agents. Like I said before, we talked about the first step is about visibility. And now the next one is about detection. So how do we understand the risk exposure for AI agents using Microsoft Defender? So once security teams, we already know, where agents exist. The next thing is to understand the risk these agents introduce or these agents can introduce. With the attack path analysis here in Microsoft Defender basically will help, you can see this graph, it helps security teams understand how different vulnerabilities can connect together. Seeing misconfiguration within the AI agents and seeing ways to quickly remediate it by providing security recommendation before it becomes an access point for attackers to leverage. For example, let's talk about a vulnerable container combined with excessive permission could allow an attacker to move laterally into an AI agent environment. So with Microsoft Defender, it gives you that avenue to see any misconfiguration within your AI agent by giving you a visualization using the attack path and also provide security recommendations in which you can remediate any of this misconfiguration. These security recommendations are also seen by the developers in Microsoft Foundry as well. We've talked about visibility, detection. The next is about being able to detect malicious AI agent behavior, more like real-time protection of malicious agent behavior, suspicious behavior as it happens. This is where runtime detection becomes critical. In this example, like you can see, Microsoft Defender detected a suspicious AI agent tool invocation. The platform identified the activity as potentially malicious. So you can see that AI agent tool invocation blocked by Microsoft Defender. So it blocked it before it could execute any of this malicious activity. You may ask me, why does this really matter? AI agents often interact with tools and API autonomously. So if an attacker manipulates an agent through prompt injection, either by direct or indirect prompt injection, the agent could attempt actions it was never intended to perform. So therefore, the aim of this is to monitor the agent's behavior the same way we monitor human identities. So detecting the anomalies, correlating the signals, and stopping these malicious activities in real time. Another thing I want to also highlight is you can also go further to do threat hunting of these AI agents so that you can correlate these signals with other of your stack, like your endpoints, your identity, and all, to get a true story of the attack part of the agent's behavior. So Microsoft Defender has given us a way to basically protect AI agents from build to runtime across visibility using the AI agent inventory, real-time protection as well, and also blocking any form of malicious activities before it becomes like a loophole within our organizations. All these I've explained now or highlighted is around Agent 365, which is coming up, which you can use observability with Microsoft Entra ID, with Microsoft Entra Agent ID. With Defender 2, we also have that observability within our agent inventory, and we can also understand the security posture as well. And there's security recommendations to remediate any misconfiguration within these agents using Microsoft Defender. And of course, Purview also helping with data protection and data security for AI agents. So AI agents are our new identities. Basically, they are here as our digital actors. They've come to stay. And I'm glad that Microsoft is also leveraging or bringing out different tools or ways in which we can manage these dynamic behaviors of AI agents. And also, with Microsoft Defender, it has this integration with other stacks across your Microsoft Purview. So you have your Microsoft Defender for Cloud App, your Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. So these correlations are no more isolated. These signals are no more isolated, but correlated, where you can get a true picture of an attack story without checking them in isolation. This brings me to say that AI agents are now identities in our ecosystem. Autonomous systems now act across your data, your tools, and your infrastructure. Of course, traditional security models were not designed for agentic behavior. But with Microsoft is leveraging existing security stacks that we are used to in securing agents, basically from the Entra Agent ID to Microsoft Defender as well. The key thing is what every organization clamors about is about visibility, detection and response or remediation of any misconfiguration of AI agents. Microsoft Defender brings this by providing protection, real-time protection, giving us visibility to agents developed in Copilot Studio, agents developed in Microsoft Foundry. So this gives now as a security professional for us to have visibility of every agent being developed in this platform in our organization and helping to reduce agent sprawl as well. With this, we should also understand that now agentic security is all about collaboration, accountability, and trust. So right from the developer who is building it to the security professional who is ensuring that these agents are secure across the lifetime of the agent, so across the agent life cycle. So security definitely must evolve as software becomes autonomous, and this is what Microsoft Defender is offering as well. So thank you very much. If there's any questions?